Okay. All right. Sorry. Excuse me. So go ahead. Go ahead. Do let me know who you are and why are you here.
Okay, so basically my name is Ajit, and I am working in IT sector, and I would like to improve my communication skill. I can talk with the Indian peoples and uh, Indian neighbor means like Pakistan, Nepal, and we can talk well. But problem is here when I talk with the foreign country client UK and US, their accent are different and uh, and I usually do a lot of grammatical mistake and pronunciation also. It's a very big barrier for me. But
Okay.
okay, it's good for me means I know that we cannot remove all the thing during a short period, or I will have to focus and continues to work on this, then I can improve. So that's all about myself. I'm a student also. I am preparing the MCA.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You're preparing MC. Okay. Fine. 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 Seems like you already gave all the feedback yourself. You haven't left much for me to explain here. You already said what all things you're working for, what all things you need to work into so that you can get better. So that's good. That's good. But tell me about your day. What did you do today altogether? I know I haven't really introduced myself yet. I will be introducing soon enough, but you know me, I ask a few questions before we get to that point, don't we? So tell me.
Yeah. So okay. So basically, today is my today is my day shift. So I went to the office. I went to office and I have a work usually whatever I got the task, and I finished my task and I returned back to home, and I I went to the park and then came back or to home, and I prepared for the this session. Okay, and it's a night time. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. So you told me you prepared for the session. So what kind of preparations are we talking about?
I got the topic of social media. So
Okay.
I have read some paragraphs. That's why, or
Okay. Let's talk about social media then. I mean, if you've already gone through it, then let's talk about social media. But before that, I think you already know my name. It's Amal. I'm a medical doctor, so obviously it's Dr. Amal Mohan. And I'm speaking to you from the southern tip of India. I'm speaking to you from the city of Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. And other than being a doctor, I do a few other things, and this is one among those things. I happen to be a conversationalist or a tutor, you can call me, in EnglishYaari. So that's all about me. So let's talk about social media.
yeah,
What do you mean by?
we,
Mhm.
we can say that uh you are a means a multiple worker.
You mean multifaceted? That's what you
Yeah,
meant.
yeah. You because you
Well,
do multiple things.
I tried to multitask. That's it. I
Yeah,
tried to
multi.
do a few things. That's all. Okay. I mean, everybody is multitasking. I mean, even our moms in the kitchen, they multitask all the time. So compared to that, we are not doing anything at all. So if they can do it, we can try and achieve half of it, right? So that's what I'm trying to do. It's all about the attempt. It's all about the try. Now, let's talk about social media. Tell me,
Mhm.
what do you mean by social media? What is
So
your perspective of social media?
actually, means if you see that social media is very useful for our life,
Hmm.
and because if you see you just go 70 years, 75 years ago, when the freedom fighter was fighting, they used to they used to the uh, like uh, they use they would use the newspaper and many things. Okay, so
Hmm.
they people got the benefit. Okay, and nowadays we can see the all the happening in whatever happening in the anywhere means in the world, we can get
Hmm.
easily with a few minute or few second. We can set we use on the YouTube and the news channel and many things. Okay, we
Okay.
can connect with the social media. If like suppose that I am here at the in Delhi, and my parents will be my parents would be my parents would live in a like Punjab or another state. So
Okay.
we can connect via your social media. Okay, we can share the many things,
Mm-hmm.
like suppose that our child our children child friends, okay, child friends or our colleague, we have a work with them, and we that's a laptop organization, school or colleges. So
Mm-hmm.
normally we cannot talk with normally with the like via using the phone, and anyway we usually go and meet, but we always connect with
Mm-hmm.
the social media. But when they enjoy with their family, their colleague, and post the pictures and videos and anything over the social media. So we
Mm-hmm.
use this all the things and see and enjoy and drop the message for a greeting and many things. So nowadays we can say that we uh, we are means uh, we are under the means we are means we are everywhere the we can find out that we cannot live without social media. Okay, we always using the many things like Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube, many things. We usually this is our habit. If we don't do anything, but at least in the morning we open the mobile and see what is going on. So
Mm-hmm.
and if you see in politics, so you can see uh, politician also use multimedia, sorry, social media. They post
Okay.
their work and complain or many things they post over the social media, and we can check and read and give the people give the opinion. So during this way we can say that multimedia is sorry social media spreads the news or and information and many things to us for us, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was quite lengthy. That was a good explanation. Good job. I like the length of it. We'll start with the pros. Okay, we'll start with the pros. What are the positive things about the way you speak, right?
Okay.
Because I like to, this is how I want to, I don't interrupt in between, at least the initial pace, but I will moving forward, right? But let's
Okay.
take it one step at a time. Don't expect me to just grammar police you through and through. That is not what I do.
Okay.
See, I mean, most people are gonna throw me away for this, but seriously, I believe communication is the important part, and I understood what you were trying to explain, but how can we make this better? That's what our task for today is, or what our task for a few days here is, right? Now, first things first, I like your personality. Like being a soft skills trainer, I think it's only fair if I mention about the smile that you have, about the I'm a complete stranger to you. You just realize who I am, etc., etc. But still, you manage to, based on what you've understood about the topic, you're having a pleasant smile, right? And you're not very, even if you're anxious, you're doing a good job covering it up, or even if you're nervous, you're doing a good job covering it up. But you don't have to cover it up. You can be completely free here, because like I said, this is a free space. There's a completely judgment free zone, so there is nothing you need to worry about here, right? That's the first thing. Another thing, the flow of ideas. So once you read about a subject, once you read about a topic, then you have the capacity to just keep on speaking about it, and the ideas are going to flow into you. But there is a slight deviation that we have to take there, like a slight correction we'd have to take in the way, right? I'm not
Mhm.
going to speak about vocabulary now. I'm not going to speak about grammar for now. Of course, those two consider a lot of things. I'm going to speak about the rhythm and flow, right? The flow of ideas is great, right? But do
Okay.
you have a rhythm? Yes, you do have a rhythm, but the problem is that rhythm is not exactly singing into the fluency part. So everybody would say, hey, you should be speaking fast, and speaking really fast would be, that's directly proportional to your fluency. No, speaking fast means you're rapping. It doesn't mean that you have fluency, right? Fluency is having a rhythm. I mean, when we speak our mother tongue, right? For me, it's Malayalam, right? For you, it might be Hindi, any language, right? For any language that you are very comfortable with, we will have a natural rhythm to speak about it. So getting a similar rhythm, dialing in on a similar rhythm when we speak English, that is where we get fluent. right? For that,
Okay.
the first thing we need to master is to be completely comfortable in our own skin. And to be comfortable in our own skin, you'd have to do a little bit preparations in advance. But how can you prepare something in advance for speaking something impromptu? How is that possible? That is why you'd have to set up a database of vocabulary and the usages beforehand. You don't have to by heart anything. You just have to be in the environment of English. Point number one. How to be in the environment. That is the first thing. This is the first thing, first feedback for you. And I think this is pretty obvious. I mean, you know, everybody knows, and being in the environment, it's going to naturally drive you towards the better communication part, right? It's going to obviously drive you there. Now, how can we actually bypass that? How can we get better in that zone? Or what all things are we supposed to do or stick to get that done, right? Again, we'll get back to that. Let's speak about the pros now, or probably get into cons already. I think I've pointed out the pros already. So let me speak about the cons. Number one, you jumped into the topic directly. So I told you, let's talk about social media. I want you to take a small pause. When somebody says, let's talk about social media, or let's talk about politics or something like that, until and unless you're very, very comfortable, unless you're extremely fluent, don't jump into the topic. I mean, I have the same tendency. I speak very fast, I know. And I have a tendency to jump directly into it. But I want you to use your presence of mind for now. Just for now. You can do your version later. But just to get better, just for the training purposes, I want you to have a little bit of presence of mind. And how do you need to use it? That presence of mind needs to be utilized in two methods. Number one, a small pause, a minute pause, a tiny micro pause just before starting. You should be at least, you should be able to at least, you should be able to know what kind of sentence you'll be constructing moving forward, right? In that fraction of a second, you should be. So that is going to give you a significant advantage. If you can actually deliver a sentence altogether with a little pause, then that's going to be a perfect sentence. And how can we make that sentence perfect in the beginning phase itself? Number one, you speak in simple sentences. You speak in simple sentences. Don't make it complex, right? If you don't make it complex, if you speak in simple sentences, for now, okay, we can get into complexities later. But for now, if you speak in simple sentences, simple means small sentences. That means it is going to deliver efficiently, and you will not have to stop to think how to connect these sentences, how to connect these grammatical errors, you don't have to worry that. You don't have to worry about that at all, right? So presence of mind to take a small pause, presence of mind to make sure that you're speaking in simple sentences. But when you seek, let's say when you're seeking out for simple sentences, when you're speaking in simple sentences, the next best thing that you're supposed to look forward to is speak in complete sentences. You cannot miss is, was, where, when, how. None of those can be missed, right?
Okay.
Right? The correct form of tenses has to be there. The correct form of vocabulary. Every single thing has to be intact. See, you're speaking about simple sentences here, right? Simple sentences. I went to the store, right? I went to the store to get something. That is going to be a little big sentence. I went to the store to get something. To get something. That is extra. You can simply say, I went to the store. I purchased a sack of rice. That is two separate sentences, two separate simple sentences. Or I can say, I went to the store to get the sack of rice. Okay, so it's a little big. So you can speak either way. It's not hampering you, or it's not gonna pull you back from something else. But I just want you to use simple sentences for now, right? First, presence of mind. Use the presence of mind to actually make a slight pause before you start to construct properly, construct the sentence properly. And then once you start in, then the next thing you can do is to make sure that you're speaking in simple sentences. And when you speak in simple sentences, make sure, come on, this is a very simple sentence. There is no way you can miss out on this, any words on this or any part of the sentence. This is the first set of rules. Okay, first set of rules. Now I'll tell you how can you be in the environment of English. This is something you'd have to carry. This is something you'd have to carry out for now. This is not for a long-term scenario, right? This is for now. This is for the next potentially 4 weeks or 21 days, right? This is something you're supposed to do for the next 21 days or preferably 4 weeks, right? The rest is completely dependent upon your commitment and consistency towards English. right? And I know you're a
Yeah.
working professional, you're preparing for something, so I know how to how terrible the schedule is gonna be, how tough the schedule is gonna be in terms
Yes.
of placement and all. But still, I think you'll be able to survive that, right? Now, circling back, how can you be in the in the environment of English? Tell me, what do you mean? What do you understand by environment of English?
I don't know. Can you tell me?
Okay, fine. So I'll tell you something. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
you're going to the United States. Let's say you're going to the UK or any country that speaks English as a first language, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when you go to these places, and let's say you are going out for a coffee with few of your friends, and they are Native Americans or native Englishmen or anything like that. Let's say those people speak English as first language, right? What happens is when you're instantly going there, exactly the way you are, or even for me, anybody, it doesn't matter, we're going to feel so alienated because we will not understand most of it because there are no subtitles to read, right? So we feel like, okay, what are these people saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point of time, you will feel left out. Or you can just feel, okay, I'm not going to understand them anyway. So why would I go? But situation arises that you will have to go anyway. Come on, you have to speak to different clients every single day, right? And you cannot just avoid those clients. It's part of your job, right? Similarly,
Yeah.
that's part of your uh, you know, social existence. Let's say it's not part of social media alone. It's part of your social existence over there. You have to make friends. Come on, we
Mm-hmm.
are all social animals, right? So at that point of time, first day, second day, third day, fourth day, you are among those group. Maybe the sixth or seventh day, you'll slowly start to pick up what they're saying, right? And
Right.
probably by 20th day, you'll perfectly understand what those people are saying. So what is the first thing? Listening. You listen to them. You listen to them so that you could understand what they were saying. How did that happen? Because of the consistent approach. You were listening to them continuously. You started picking up their pace. You started adapting to their, the way, method of delivery, the accent, every single thing.
Okay.
Maybe after 30, 35 days, then you'll start responding to that. Maybe you will become part of the jokes they are making. How will that happen? Just like a kid, okay? A kid, when it's growing up, then of course, they're not going to speak right away from day one, right? They're going to speak after their speech organs are developed properly. So when they are, at that point of time, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to imitate. They're going to imitate. The kids are going to imitate. They're going to be like, okay, my dad is saying paper. So like paper. They'll be trying to do paper. So that is how a kid is actually going to advance into that level. Similarly, we will not know this is not intentional, but will naturally sink into their rhythm. And that rhythm will become our rhythm. And then we're going to adapt something in the middle ground. And that is going to be the method of speech. Right. So this is
Right.
the whole purpose. This is the whole idea. That is how you get in the environment of English, which is going to naturally drive you to listen and speak very well. Got it?
So first priority is we need to listen more, right?
Yes. I think I told you in the previous session as well, because listening is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking, yes, of course, but speaking starts where listening ends. Right.
Right.
We cannot simply answer a question without knowing the question. We'd have to listen what the question is, correct?
Yeah.
So the
Until
first
we need
task,
to understand that what is the question, right?
absolutely, we need to understand what the question is. So if we have to understand the question, then we need to know, we need to listen what exactly that was, right? Now, how can you be in that environment of English? Of course, tons of methods are there. I think you might be seeing a lot of English conversation videos and all these things. But then we'll have to segregate this into different parts. Number one would be narrative skill set. What is narrative skill set? So I'm asking you, I asked you something. How was your day? Explain or tell me about your day. That means you're narrating something. You're narrating about your day. That is what narrative skill set is all. Right?
Okay.
The
Right.
next thing is gonna be argumentative skill set. Let's say we'd have to talk about some topic, any topic, corporates, anything, or imitation, anything at all, any topic at all. We'd have to get into discussion, right? And if that discussion has to be fruitful, like it has to be useful, it has to be productive, then both my statements and your statements should make sense, and it should all be revolving around a single point, because that is the topic of discussion, right?
Right.
That is going to be argumentative skill set. And these skill sets just advance, just keeps on going, right? One by one, it's going to keep on going, right? Now, honestly speaking, Are you following? Is everything okay? You
Yeah.
became extremely silent.
No, I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So yes, listening is the strategical approach, the first approach, and listening to anything is not going to make sense. You will have, how did we listen? We were part of the same group or the same geography or maybe the same set of people who speaks in a similar fashion.
I'm listening the podcasting videos to enhance my listening skill.
Great, except that's an excellent way. But I do have a question for you. Is it gonna be the same host? Like that the guest is gonna be different, but are you listening to the same host every single day?
Yes, same.
Good. Keep continuing that.
Because
Keep
because
doing
be-
that. All
because
right.
because because first time I heard the time I was unable to understand their his language, but when I usually listen that video, so now I can understand. Not 100%, but yes, I can understand like 60 to 70%, and which content all the things depend on the content.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
So are we talking about a native English speakers podcast or
native.
okay, great. So keep listening to the same person as much as you can, right? The
Yeah.
next part comes in. That is a 50%. Of course, you will have to start speaking. You listened, you understood. Now you'd have to relay what you understood, right? Or
Okay.
you'd have to make sense. That is gonna happen here at EnglishYaari. You already made the move. So you'd have to talk to different people, or maybe you can stick to the same tutor. It's up to you. It's up to you. But
Mm-hmm.
make sure you speak continuously. And today I had to speak more because I had to let you all this information in. Right, that's the reason I spoke more. Otherwise, I wouldn't have spoken this much. It is supposed to be the learner who should be speaking more. It's not supposed to be me. But today, I just gave you a toolkit. I just gave you a set of things that you're supposed to carry all the way through. The
Okay.
presence of mind, complete sentences, simple sentences, those things you don't have to carry all along. This is for the next 21 days or 4 weeks, depending on your consistency and commitment. The rest of the things about the listening, being in the environment of English, that is very important. And that's a toolkit you're supposed to carry, which doesn't matter which platform you're going to, it doesn't matter which tutor you're taking classes from, you will have to stick to that. And that's going to help you get to the level you want. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the session. We are already over time, but I do have a final question for you. Obviously, we'll meet again this week, so no worries on that angle. But tell me, what do you think about today's session? I think today there weren't much big hiccups on the technical aspect because we did it in
Yeah.
Zoom.
Today we had to speak a lot. Okay, like on topic or my daily routine, and definitely during a 25 or 30 minute I have spoken a lot of things, and I realized that what is my mistake and how to improve that. Okay, so definitely I'm focusing on broadcasting video, and have I will continue to listen
Okay. In the
more.
next session,
Yeah,
I think you have booked 3 sessions this week, right? So in the
yes.
next session, I will have to just process these data, okay? Process these things that I've told today. And in the next session, I'm going to tell you something else, and we'll work on that as well,
It's the
right?
same.
We're gonna go step by step
It's
by step.
yeah. It's the same time for tomorrow because I have a limited time. That's why I have a book for like 2 3 days. Not 3 days with you, and you can tomorrow and next day.
I'll be here. I'll be available from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every day. That is the only time I can contribute towards this. In fact, it was only 10 to 11. Then people wanted more sessions, so that's why I'm here. Anyway, I'll take
Yeah,
my leave. I'll have to jump to the next session. Thank you
yeah.
so much for meeting with me. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Take care.
Thank you.